Let me know in the comments what you're reading this week. These are the three books that I am currently working on, two nonfiction and a horror fiction, which is a first for me. I'm actually really enjoying it. So let's get into it. First up, The History by the Book Club's June Book of the Month, Crusaders by Dan Jones, is not hitting the way that we thought it would. It very much reads like a series of anthology stories about the Crusades and does not really connect or flow naturally as a narrative on this particular history. The history of the Crusades is vast and extremely expansive, so it is difficult to cover. Thomas Asbridge's book, The Crusades, is roughly 800 pages, so not something that I think Jones was intending to do at that level. But somebody in the book club actually mentioned a really fantastic point as a way to describe this book. They said, as vast as an ocean, as deep as a puddle. And I think that is a perfect way to describe the execution here by Jones. In his book on the Crusades, Jones is a fantastic writer, but I just think we missed the mark a bit here with Crusaders. The Unworthy by Agustina Bazterrica is my first dive into horror fiction, and it is fantastic. This is a book about a woman who is in a cloistered religious cult, and she is part of the unworthy, which is one of the levels of people you can be in the society. It is extremely gripping and dark. There is a lot of gore in it that I did not expect pretty early on in the book. And this reads very much to me like The Handmaid's Tale. It's very emotionally driven. It is dark. The world building in the book is fantastic. And it is something that I'm just finding myself flipping the pages really quickly. It's not thick at all, really quick to get through, but I am fascinated by this book, and I can see why so many people like Bazterrica, and I feel like I am going to be reading more of her work moving forward. And last up for the week, we have Rot, Imperial History on the Irish Famine by Padraig Scanlon. It very much reads like a series of economic essays on the history of the Irish famine from the British perspective. It also feels like there's an intentionally personal tone towards the British Empire in this book by Scanlon. There's not a lot of books on the Irish famine that I am really aware of, and I was kind of hoping that this would provide a more sweeping narrative about the overall history of the Irish famine, and it is just not really doing that for me. Also, I'm just very eager to get to A Training School for Elephants by Sophie Roberts, which precedes King Leopold's Ghost by Adam Hochschild about the terror in the Congo. So I may have a bit of a wandering eye to get to that and just, try and get through this, but this is just not really delivering the way that I would hope for. So I'm going to get through it. I'm going to push through and, try and read more of it, but it is very dry, no pun intended. The narrative is just lacking. It again very much feels like an essay that is full of academic, financial, economic information. And I think quite a few people would find this pretty hard to read if they're looking for a more sweeping narrative history on the Irish famine.